Well, everyone, welcome back to the Policy Corner for the 2022 legislative session. I'm Nate Griffith, and this is Andrew Riggle. We're going to be virtual again this year, it seems. So here's what's coming up this year and what's going down.
I wanted to start out by giving you guys an overview of the opportunities that are going to be coming up for you to be able to share your stories and your experiences with legislators. And the first opportunity to do that is coming up next week on Wednesday the 19th. It's Disability Advocacy Day. First Lady Abby Cox is going to be the keynote speaker, and they're going to be breakout sessions talking about how to effectively advocate with your senator or representative and share your story. And Nate and I are going to be doing sessions on how the budget and policy processes work at the legislature. So we know you can't wait for that. We encourage you to join us from 9 a.m. to 12:30 on next Wednesday. The following day, on Thursday, the Legislative Coalition for People with Disabilities is going to be hosting their annual reception with legislators from about 4:30 until 6 in the evening in the rotunda. For those of you who can't make it in person, the hope is that they will be able to broadcast the event live on Facebook Live. And if your legislator is in attendance and you would like to be able to talk with them a little bit, there will be somebody roaming the floor with a tablet. And if you let them know that you would like to speak with your legislator, and they can locate them for you and give you a few minutes to talk with them on Facebook. Also, probably the week after next will be the first week when there are several groups of advocates that will be meeting on a weekly basis to share information about what's been going on. And the first one of those will be on Mondays at 12:30. It will be the Legislative Coalition for People with Disabilities. That's a good meeting to attend, either in person or virtually, if you are specifically and especially interested in disability issues. On Wednesdays at 12 is another group of advocates. They talk about issues impacting our low-income community in general, and that takes place again in person, and there will also be a virtual option on Wednesdays from 12 to 1. Immediately following that, the Utah Health Policy Project hosts the Healthcare Roundtable, and as you might be able to guess, the focus of that conversation is on healthcare policy and and the issues related to that taking place in this session. Finally, we of course wanted to remind you that the DLC will again be doing its budget and bill tracker and meeting calendar that will be available on the website, and Nate and I will be doing policy corner episodes probably later in the week, so that we can give you kind of a wrap on the week and a primer for the following week.
So yeah, now that you know how you're going to session, Andrew and I are going to do some quick high level, just what we're expecting for this session. Probably won't get too much into bills this week. Got to keep you wanting more. And we'll talk a little bit more about specific bills probably in the coming weeks and get you updated on that. But one of the big things I think we'll be looking at this session is that one of the big things obviously going on nationwide are staff shortages in a bunch of industries. But right here in Utah, there's a real problem with staff shortages in home and community-based service providers. And so we're going to be doing a lot around that issue, trying to encourage the Social Services Appropriations Committee, Executive Appropriations Committee to put some funding into increasing provider rates so that staff can be paid more, hoping that we can attract workers. It's a real big problem in our state. Folks are kind of having some issues finding staff to really provide the necessary care for folks and services. So that's going to be a big issue, I think, this session. There's a day of action planned actually for January 20th. I believe it starts at 11 a.m. The Utah Developmental Disabilities Council is kind of organizing all of that. We'll be putting out some info on our social media about that for you to watch out for that, to know kind of the specifics on how to do that. But we're going to encourage folks to talk to their legislators and tell them about the problems going on with the staff shortages and how it's impacting them, to try and encourage them to do a little more. With that said, also, if you have a story to tell and you can't make that day, or you can't contact your legislator, on a virtual option or whatever that will be available that day as well, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and let us know. We are collecting some of those stories to try and share with legislators and others. Given that these staff shortages and the immediate crisis, we're also looking at potentially some long-term solutions. And the way we've thought about that as a DLC is going to be pursuing a couple of studies that will look at the long-term services and support system and some of the gaps in that system, and perhaps create a roadmap or give legislators some tools and options to work with in improving the system. And so I think we'll have some more information on those studies moving forward, but those are a couple of things we're looking at.
Nate just gave you a preview of one of the big picture conversations we're going to be a part of. The other one that I wanted to make sure you're aware of is that conversation that's going to be taking place around housing. And one of the things that makes this year so potentially exciting is that there is a lot of one-time money available this year, and housing is one of the things that can make good use of one-time money. We're really excited to see the recommendation in the governor's budget for $127 million for deeply affordable housing. For those of you that don't know, the conversation around affordable housing the last couple of years has been talking usually about people with incomes between 60 and 80% of the median income for the area in which they live. Unfortunately, many of us are below 30% of area median income, and that is what deeply affordable housing means. It targets that exact population who really needs the help, and developers aren't usually able to make the financing work for projects that serve people with incomes that low. Our contribution, I think, to the conversation is going to be primarily around affordable housing is great. We need as much of it as we can get, and we need permanent supportive housing for folks who have serious mental illness or substance use disorder needs, because permanent supportive housing comes with the services that wrap around you to make sure that you can be successful in housing if you have a temporary crisis, that there are those supports that can keep you in housing and keep you out of the hospital or out of jail.
That was just some of the high level stuff we're going to be looking at this session, and some background info and kind of how you can follow along and keep informed. We'll be back hopefully next week with some more specifics on bills and other things about what's been happening over the first week, and we'll keep you updated as much as we can throughout the session. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.